can tell when that clip played, something happened to that clip. It's like playing double music for some reason. I probably got to delete that off and reload it up. I'll say something issue with
I think YouTube's been acting up today because Johnny tried to start a stream like two, 3 times today, and he couldn't get it, to stream right. So I don't know.
That's weird.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah.
All right, today we got Devon Beard Code up in the house today as our guest here on the Precious Station.
Yeah, sorry. Welcome, Devon.
Yeah, sorry, Eric could not make it, and Buschy is also not here as well. But we're going to get to know a little bit more about Devon today, get to know him. So it's pretty awesome. I'm really glad that Devon has agreed to come on here and have a little conversation with us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me on. I've been waiting. We've had it marked down for a little while now, and been real excited and looking forward to being on with you guys. So I know it'll be a good time, so I'm excited for it.
Awesome. We're excited to have you. Thanks, Devon.
Of course.
And of course, as always, on our Sunday streams, we'll be doing a giveaway later in the stream for this little beard caddy I made.
Nice giveaway.
Awesome. So
yeah. Of course, and if you're free to go for that giveaway as well, Devon, because I use the StreamYard giveaway tool, so anybody can.
Yeah, I've been banned from winning them.
So we got a few people watching already. So I got Nick H that commented. So hey Nick, and we got Nick H, John Vessels. Hey John, how's it going? So
welcome in, guys.
Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. And of course, my first question I always ask on these streams is, Devon, just tell us a little bit about yourself. As little or as much as you want to. Feel free to just tell us about you and what you do and your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, I am a content creator. That's one of the things that I am very passionate and absolutely love doing. So I run a YouTube channel, if you guys didn't know, called Beard Code. Do a bunch of different stuff over there, a lot of different product reviews and some tips and tricks and just kind of everything as far as men's grooming in the beard world is concerned. So been doing that for about 1.5 years now. Hasn't always been the most consistent just because on top of being a content creator, I am also a college student and a college basketball player. So that definitely keeps my hands full for sure as far as, classes and practices and games and traveling and all the kind of stuff that just comes with being a typical college kid. You've got friends, and I've got a girlfriend I've got to tend to. She requires lots of attention, but she's worth it. So yeah, lots of stuff that goes on in my life. But like I said, at the core, I'm pretty much a college student and a college basketball player who also loves having a beard and making content for everyone on YouTube and being a part of the community and hanging out with guys like Dagan and Ron. You guys make it absolutely awesome. And that's part of the best thing about it is I'm pretty introverted at heart. So going out of my way to talk to a lot of people, either on campus or just out and about, is not necessarily my forte. So I kind of just like to kind of sit back and watch and do my own thing. But, when you have a community full of guys, it makes it a lot more enjoyable and a lot easier to get yourself out there when you're an introvert like myself. Yeah, E-Rock knows. Yeah, mom would not be happy if my homework was not done. So I made sure I took care of that before I hopped on here. So
that's good.
But yeah, that's me. Like I said, college kid, college basketball player, and a content creator. I've got 1 semester left of my undergraduate. So the plan is to hopefully be graduating in December with my undergraduate. And then the next step, hopefully, is medical school next fall. So the plan is for me to go on and continue on with school and become a doctor when things are all said and done. So
that's fantastic. So, and what school do you go to, Devon?
Yeah, so I go to a small private school out here in the middle of nowhere in Kansas called Tabor College. We're about an hour south of Wichita. We're about an hour north of Wichita. But absolutely middle of nowhere, small town in Kansas. There's about 1,500 people that live here when the college kids aren't here in town. So real small town, a lot different than that's right. Yeah. Dr. Code. Hopefully one day, hopefully we'll make it happen. Yeah, like I said, small town that is very, very different than where I grew up back home in Colorado. I grew up in Colorado Springs, big city, 1 million+ people at this point. Lots of traffic, lots of hustle and bustle, lots of stuff going on. And out here, it's the complete opposite. Real small, very laid back, quiet, and not much to do or not much to see. So it's been a culture shock being out here for sure, but I absolutely love it out here for the most part. I do not enjoy having to drive like 45 minutes to get to Walmart. I don't like that. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing out here. I enjoy the team and the guys that I'm friends with, and professors and just the community out here. They really love college kids out here because there's a lot of elderly people, small town out here in Kansas. So they love the college kids. So they take good care of us and they love on us when they can, which is really cool because I don't necessarily think you always get that kind of hospitality and community feeling if you're in like a bigger city or if you're somewhere where, you're at like a big major university or college with, 20, 30, 40,000 kids. You're just another number. So people don't necessarily know you. But here in a smaller town where you've got a smaller school, people know you. They'll see, people come to the basketball games here on campus and they'll recognize you when they see you, running around town at the post office or whatever. They'll be like, hey, great game last night. So it's really cool. People get to know you and they like to love on us. And like I said, the elderly people, they love college kids for sure. They like to talk. That's one thing I've noticed. They definitely like to talk, but there's some great people out here. So it's been real fun.
No, it's awesome.
So what are your majors and how many do you have?
Yeah, so I'm triple majoring because apparently I just absolutely love homework, but they are biomedical sciences, biology, and psychology. Those are my three majors. So, apparently, like I said, I just love doing homework and love doing lab work and as far as research goes, because that's pretty much a lot of what my life consists of.
But having a triple major, Dev, is how many classes does that entail each semester?
So this semester that I'm currently in has been a little bit different because I only really have 3 classes left to graduate. So this has by far been my most calm semester.
Wow.
But a typical semester for me before was anywhere between 6 to 9 classes, which is a lot more like high school. If you think about it, typically in high school, you're in class all day, Monday through Friday, and you have like 6 or 7 classes that you're in. Normal undergraduate students take, maybe 3 or 4 classes. I took double just because I obviously was trying to get a few more degrees and a few more majors crammed in. And I also, for whatever reason, decided I wanted to try and graduate early with extra degrees. So I overloaded a lot. Full time is obviously 12 credit hours a semester. Most semesters here, I've been taking at least 20. So I keep myself really
that's
busy.
really impressive.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
All right, did you see that comment there?
I did, yeah. I might have to try that, see if that works. Hopefully I don't get a bad grade in the first part, but hey, if it does, I might have to tell the teacher that they're breaking beard code and see if it'll change the grade in the grade book.
Now, out of all those classes that you were taking, were any of them like online classes, or were they all sit in the classroom classes?
So honestly, a mix of both. I did have a few online classes, but none of those had occurred just because a lot of the science classes that I'm in, it's really hard to teach organic chemistry, for example, online, because so much of chemistry is hands-on. You're in the lab, you're mixing chemicals or, whatever you might be doing. So to teach that online isn't necessarily the easiest thing. And like I said, so much of science is hands-on and just like the tactile, physical act of doing things. So, that's a great question.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, great question. So, honestly, my plan is to keep a beard. I don't know how long or how short that will be, but I definitely want to have some sort of facial hair for 2 reasons. One, because I have the baby face without it, and I already get enough slack for being as young as I am. So I figured the baby face won't help much in that case. And 2, I kind of want to help change some of the stigma, I guess you could call it, around just what you're expected to look like in the healthcare field. So there's a few doctors back home that I've shadowed and worked alongside and kind of seen who are absolutely covered in tattoos. They've got their nose ring pierced and, they've got beards or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily take away from, their intelligence or how good of a doctor they might be or whatever. So like me, I don't have a ton of tattoos, but I have a few. I have a beard. But I definitely think that I've got my head screwed on straight, and I want to help change that stigma to where you can have facial hair as a physician and working in a hospital, and still demand the respect that you deserve. So,
right.
Yeah.
I think that's noble to want to break that stereotype, if you will, for doctors having tattoos and beards, because I see nothing wrong with it. I have a couple tattoos myself.
Right.
Obviously, I have a beard as well too, but I think that's just fantastic. I think we need more of that.
Right. And absolutely. I think, part of it definitely as a healthcare provider, if you're a doctor, would also kind of depend on what doctor you're going to be. Obviously, like I wouldn't want to have this massive, 18-inch beard or something like that if I'm in the operating room.
Right. A surgeon, yes.
Surgery. That's going to be obviously a little bit different, but depending on where I specialize in, a beard is definitely acceptable, or could be, even if it meant that if I had to go back into an operating bay, if I had to put a net over my beard or whatever for the time being, wouldn't be a big deal or a big issue.
No.
But like I said, it kind of just depends on where you specialize. Some doctors might be able to get away with having facial hair. Some might not.
Right.
Not accepted, but just because of the physical practicality, you can't necessarily have a beard, like I said, in an operating bay if it's too long or whatever. So definitely hoping to have facial hair at some point, for sure. All the way through for the rest of my life as what I hope for, at least.
All right.
Yeah.
You're breaking your own code.
Yeah, can't shave. That'd be breaking my own code. I'd have to fail myself. So,
Right.
But yeah.
So, what about basketball? Why you pick basketball? Is that you like? I mean, is that one of your favorite sports, or?
Yeah. So growing up, I always loved basketball. That was, I actually played basketball and football growing up. And I thought for a long time I wanted to play football in college. That's what I thought I wanted to do, or go play in the NFL. Until I was in 8th grade, I'll never forget. One of my very good friends, he is now actually phenomenal football player. He plays at Virginia Tech. But he hit me so hard, my helmet flew off, my chin strap was on the sideline, knocked the wind out of me. And I said, you know what? I was not blessed with an overwhelming, football body. I'm not cut out for getting hit. I don't like getting hit this hard, so I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I remember you saying that story before. Yeah, that's enough to make you think twice.
Exactly. I got my bell rung, and I said, yep, as fun as this is, it's not that fun to put up with getting hit, especially like this, because if I got hit like that again now, I think I'd rather get hit by a bus. So I kind of said, and at that point, I had also kind of been, getting a lot better. As a basketball player, my body and my frame and my size kind of matched more of a basketball player's build anyways. So at that point, I was really trying to decide, which sport I wanted to take more seriously, because I knew at some point I'd probably have to pick one to kind of dial in on. If I really wanted to get really, really good at one sport, you kind of have to pick one.
Right. So
I decided that basketball was going to be the sport for me. Luckily, I made the right decision. So ended up, becoming a pretty decent basketball player. So now I'm playing in college. So that's kind of how that whole thing started. But I've been playing for honestly as long as I can remember. Always loved basketball. But like I said, I got hit that one good time, and that was what killed football dreams for me. So.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So as far as sponsors, that's
Great
a great
question.
Actually, there is a company. I won't say who exactly, but I will say it is a small batch company that is very, very active and supportive in the beard community, who we are in the final steps and processes as far as sponsoring me as a collegiate athlete through the NCAA, which is really cool, because we are finally allowed to profit off of our name, image, and likeness. So we can sign endorsement contracts and do different endorsement deals and make money working alongside some really cool companies. And obviously with my involvement in the beard community, I wanted for, if any company was willing to kind of sponsor me as an athlete, I wanted, if it could, if we could make it happen, to be a small batch beard company. So like I said, won't say who, but be on the lookout as, some of those details start to get finalized, because I think that'll be really, really awesome. And a cool thing, not only for the beard community, but also for, college athletes as a whole. I think it would be really cool if more companies and more student athletes kind of paired up as far as what things that they're interested in. Because as of right now, it's been a lot of major companies. You've seen, different fast food restaurants and stuff like that pairing with some of the major college athletes. But I think it would be absolutely awesome for, every NCAA athlete out there to partner up and pair with a company or somebody who's directly related to something they're interested and passionate about, because like I said, it just kind of brings more awareness to whether that be the beard community or the head shaving community or whatever community you're a part of and find passion in. I think it would be really cool to kind of help get that publicity and kind of work alongside athletes that way. It'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, and congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations for sure.
I appreciate it.
And since Buschy brought this up, English code is one of his favorite scents. So
mine too.
You want to talk about that? How does this English code come about?
Yeah. First of all, I appreciate it. It's absolutely awesome and mind-blowing to hear that people have been loving that scent. Obviously, I put a lot of time and effort, nowhere near as much time and effort as Tyson did on his side of things, but put a lot of heart and thoughts and consideration into that scent. And I wanted it to be something really, really special because it was my first collab. So to hear that people have been enjoying it and loving it for about a year now, almost a year, has been really, really cool. But so Tyson and I kind of formed a friendship, right as soon as he kind of got involved in the community. Back last summer, he kind of started popping up into live streams and on Instagram before his actual official launch. But him and I kind of been talking. We formed this friendship and kind of established a relationship with one another that became, really fruitful, and it was good conversation. And we both really enjoyed, each other's company and friendship. So him and I kind of kept talking. And one day he kind of came to me and said, hey, I've kind of got the ball rolling with my company. Things have been going, things have been working well, and I want to kind of start doing a few collaborations. And so I was one of the first people that he asked to do that. So I was absolutely humbled just because I love Tyson. I loved what he was doing with his company as far as, innovation and creativity and originality. So I was absolutely blown away and humbled. So I said, absolutely, of course. So him and I worked from about the end of August last year until about mid-October. So it took us a few months to kind of dial things in. One of the biggest things, obviously, was me kind of creating a starting point. There's so many different types of scents. Even if you just look very broad, you've got, your real dark, manly, musky type of scents. You've got earthy, you've got citrusy, you have fruity, whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of had to find a starting point, and then from there kind of develop a vision as far as what I wanted. So funny enough, I was actually out walking my dogs one day right after it had finished raining. I was walking them around, and I absolutely love the way the air smells after it finishes raining. It's just, very clean and crisp and kind of uplifting. And I said, I want something that kind of resembles and gives off that same vibe. Like, you just kind of, your nostrils open up, it's clean, it's crisp and kind of refreshing, just like it just finished raining. So Tyson kind of heard that and was like, what in the heck is that supposed to mean? But he ran with it. So I kind of gave him a few suggestions as far as, I'm a big citrus fan, if you guys didn't know that. So I wanted to kind of have a citrusy element, but I didn't necessarily want that to be all of what the scent was. And one of the hardest parts is I wanted something that kind of shifted and changed throughout the day. So for anybody who's tried English Code, you guys probably know that out of bottle, it smells one way. As soon as you get into your beard, you get a lot of that bright kind of citrusy vibe up front. But as the day goes on, you get more of those undertones that start to come out and become a little bit more prevalent. And so that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted something that started one way, but at the end of the day, it was a little bit different. And obviously trying to do that, you kind of have to layer, different tones and different scent palettes and stuff like that. But Tyson did an absolutely amazing job working with the ideas that I gave him. So long story short, it took us a few months. It took us, I believe it was 8 or 9 different variations before we finally got it dialed in. And when Tyson sent me the last tester, I said, that's it. That is it. And I think I wore that tester bottle for about 2 weeks straight. That's all I wore. Absolutely loved it, was blown away. And it is still to this day, I wear it at least 2 or 3 times a week. I cannot get enough of that scent. I have gone through multiple bottles of it, but absolutely loved it. And I could not be more happy with how that scent turned out. Just, in general, let alone to have my name be tied to that as a collaboration was just really, really cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Fantastic job with it, that's for sure.
Yeah,
one
definitely.
of my favorites too.
I appreciate it.
Definitely is. So when it comes to content creation, what got you into wanting to make content? Funny enough, I think we all still remember the
big countrywide shutdown and worldwide shutdown that happened, my sophomore year of college, almost a couple years ago now. So we got sent home actually for our spring break. Spring break was rolling around when COVID hit that March and the whole world shut down for a couple weeks there. We were told that we were going to go home for 2 weeks. And at that point, I had been pretty heavily involved in the community. I had my own Instagram page. I followed, tons of guys, watched tons and tons of content, was in every live stream. And I'd always kind of thought, like, this seems fun. I could probably do it. But I used the excuse of living in a dorm room. I was like, I can't film. I live in a dorm room. That's weird. I don't have anywhere to film. I don't want to do that. So fast forward, we got sent home. That 2 weeks that we were supposed to get sent home. Hey, I appreciate that, Joey. It means a lot, man. Thanks. But yeah, we got sent home for 2 weeks. And that 2 weeks turned into us being sent home for the summer. None of us realized it. So I was at home when COVID had shut everything down, couldn't work. School was, pretty non-existent because everything was online. And I was just really, really bored. And I said, you know what? I am going to make a video because I have absolutely nothing better to do than I'm just sitting at home all day. If it's fun, great. I found a new passion and a new hobby. If it sucks and I'm terrible and I hate it, I'll never do it again. Who cares? Nothing gained, no worries.
Right.
So yeah, I was home during March and decided to go ahead and film my first review. It was terrible. So if you're watching this, don't go back and watch my first video because it wasn't good. Heads up now.
I say the same thing about mine too.
I just said, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot, and I absolutely fell in love with it. For me, it's fun, obviously, sitting in front of the camera and, talking and, giving your spiel about whatever product or whatever topic you might be talking about. But for me, what I really, really enjoyed and what was exciting and fun for me the most was like editing and the behind the scenes stuff that you do to prepare for a video. I've got fellow content creators with me here on screen. You guys know everything that goes into, it's not just sit, record, and boom, okay, you're good to go. And then 3 days later, let's make another video. You've got to sit down and edit and do tags and locations and thumbnails and uploading and, all the kind of stuff that goes into the post filming work when it comes to making videos. And so, that to me is calming. It's relaxing. It's fun. Again, like I said, I'm introverted. So if I get to just come in here in my room and be by myself and sit down and edit, that is absolutely wonderful. I love that. It's relaxing. So fell in love with that whole sort of thing, but of course fell in love with the community. And I felt one of the cool things about me is I have a different perspective to offer as far as reviews and from my channel. Obviously, needless to say, everybody kind of knows I'm the baby. I'm the little brother in the community. I'm the young guy. So I have a different perspective in the sense that I'm just a lot younger. But also, that was one of the things that kind of scared me. Yeah, that's right, E-Rock. I absolutely his son is like my biggest fan. So I'm gonna have to get some more videos out for him here very soon. Don't worry, E-Rock. Hey, fair enough, Sam. I did not blame you, man. Absolutely. But yeah, so I was a little bit concerned when I first got started because there are guys in this community who have had beards for longer than I've been alive. Like literally, like it's not, you know what I mean? I'm 21 years old and I know that there are guys in this community who have had beards for 25, 30, 40 some odd years.
Wow. So I'm going about 18. So
yeah, see, Dagan's right there. I mean, close enough at that point. And, so I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, if a 20 at the time, I was 19, almost 20, who's going to want to listen to a kid, who's 19 with a beard when they've had beards for longer than I've been alive? And that was something that I was just kind of skeptical and worried about in my own head, which was not at all something I needed to be worried about. People,
right.
Have given me nothing but the utmost respect as far as, hey, take it easy, man. But yeah, I was kind of worried because I was so young, but people were definitely more than accepting. E-Rock, that's my favorite shirt, man. But yeah, so people were more than accepting. But like I said, I was just kind of worried because my thought was, who's going to want to listen to a guy this young? What does he know? Why would I listen to this young kid talk about having a beard when, he's probably had a beard for the last 6 months. He just hit puberty. But
a lot of the reviews too is about opinions,
right, exactly,
about your personal opinion of things,
right?
So,
well, and so that was one of the cool things is people were really accepting of it, which made it obviously easier to transition into being a reviewer.
Well,
And you're very well spoken too, Devon.
Yeah,
You come off very, very well spoken in your videos. You really do.
Thank you.
And also, you being young, you can attract the younger guys that are just coming in as well. So
exactly, and that was one of the other things is when I got into the community, not even as a content creator, just as your typical community member. I noticed that there weren't a lot of people in live streams that were my age. And I said, well, I know I'm not the only kid who's under 30 years old with a beard. I see, I've got friends who have beards, or I have, I'll see other people out and about who have beards or whatever it might be. But I saw that like within our community, there aren't that many young guys, so to speak, with beards. And so part of what I wanted to do was hopefully, I'm sure that I guarantee I wasn't the only kid my age out there looking up, best beard oil. So hopefully somebody stumbles across a video of mine and they're relatively my same age. And they say, oh, well, look at this guy. There's a community going on. He's a part of a community and he's my age, and hopefully draw on some more people who are around my age, to kind of help add to the community. But like I said, add just a different perspective and a different opinion when it comes to having those younger members. So.
Right. And just a reminder, like most people probably know that are in here, that I do always have our guest information in the description below. So Devon's information to his YouTube and his Instagram is in the description below. And once again, some of y'all been asking questions, but once again, if you have any questions for Devon, put them in the chat. And we'll get them out there.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, yes, please go subscribe to Devon's channel. He's got great content, guys.
Thank you.
He doesn't always have time to put out a video, but when he has time, he may put out a few in a row. So
right. Yeah.
Well, and going back to what you said when you first started, you said you didn't like your very first video. I think the majority of us will probably say that. I know I do.
Right.
Back then, I actually do more editing back then than I do now, because when I did my reviews, I'd like do a little section, stop, collect my thoughts again, do another section, start to edit all that together. But now I'm pretty much in one shot. I just do the whole review, and it's less editing for me nowadays.
That's how I do it too. I say I'm not very good at editing. I'll edit a little in the beginning, where you're clearing your throat and getting ready, and if I'm anxious and breathing and trying to get ready to start, so I'll have a whole mess in the front there that I got to edit off. And usually at the end too, I'll edit it where you go to reach through the camera and stuff, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I try to edit as little as possible. So,
like
you said, you enjoy the editing process, and I think I would enjoy it if I was better at it, because like I make logos for guys in the community, and I really enjoy making the logos. I find it, like especially when I'm in my own head,
right?
Just sitting there and finding the stuff to put in it and making them just really gets me out of my head, and focused on something else. So
right. And like I said, so for me, if you haven't seen my content, or for those of you guys who have, you probably know that mine is pretty heavily edited. So it's lots of jump cuts in between talking, and I like to use little graphic animations, and I put lots of B-roll in videos, and I've got underlying music, and I do some things that kind of help spice it up. And that's mostly for me, because if you guys saw how long it took me to record a 10-minute review, it's like 45 minutes, because I stare at the camera and I go, well, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay, right. And then I got to get my thoughts. And so for me, if I uploaded a video, you guys would be like, what in the world was that? It was 8.5 minutes of talking and 35 minutes of same thing, me trying to calm myself down, or breathing, or just like me making dumb looks or dropping stuff or whatever it might be. And so, for me, that's part of the reason I edit so heavily. I like, the clean kind of, editing, the nice put together, presentation. But I will say that some of my favorite videos and some of my favorite content creators are the guys who there's little editing. They sit, they press record, they get everything out in one take or with very few edits along the way, and boom. I like that. I love that style. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I would talk and say 2 sentences, and then it'd be 30 seconds of just dead air. And then
I usually have to rehearse it before I hit that record button. Like I'll rehearse through it once or twice, you know. and then I'll get it filmed, and then I don't like it. So then I try and do it again, and I try and do it again. And every time I try to do it better, it always winds up worse to me. So I always end up using like the first take.
No, see, exactly. And like Nate said, for me, like when I'm filming, there's lots of what company is this, and what is this? I don't know what was in the scent profile, and I forget, so I've got to look it up again, and I forgot to write stuff down. So for me, just being able to edit all of that out, so I don't, most of the editing is just me trying to hide being dumb or saying something that was dumb or not making sense or stumbling over words or whatever. And for me, that's why I like editing and getting rid of that stuff, because I wouldn't want to listen to me being dumb and how I sound if you guys haul the full video. So, but again, that was not something that I was naturally good at before. Luckily for me, I'm, a little bit younger and part of the generation that grew up with iPads as soon as we, were born. But I liked, learning and that learning curve as far as editing and teaching myself how to kind of put together a project, even though it took me 45 minutes to turn into an 8-minute video. That was something I had to learn along the way. So you guys can probably tell if you've been watching videos for a while that my editing has gotten a lot better as time has kind of progressed, because I spend a ton of time watching YouTube, watching, of course, beard content, but also a lot of videography and cinematography and photography videos, just trying to improve B-roll or editing or, different things like that. And so a lot of, the investments and the, progression and building of my channel has gone into things like buying better editing software or, buying better microphones or buying, learning a different teaching or taking a course so I can learn how to do, something different with photography to kind of help improve some of the photography stuff that I've gotten into lately. And that's kind of, hopefully I think it's coming off to people that, things have gotten noticeably better as far as either photography goes or the editing or whatever. Because I was not just somebody who picked up a computer one day and was like, whoa, this is how you edit, boom, boom, boom. And everything, I just knew how to do everything. That was not me at all. But, like I said, I think that's just part of content creating as a whole. None of us, like we all talked about earlier, were overly excited and happy with how our first video turned out. And maybe at the time you were like, yeah, this isn't terrible. But as you grow, you get more comfortable, you realize and learn how to do a few more things. You're like, yeah, that video was not good. Like that.
Like compared to this one today,
right.
That one's
6
horrible.
months later, or a year later, you're like, I was, those first videos were awful. And that's part of what makes this fun, is obviously growing and just continuing to get better and growing in your passion and in love for whatever you're doing. But yeah, like I was I couldn't speak hardly. There was no emotion. It was very monotone and just robotic. And funny enough, my first video, I actually tried to film in one take, which I did, but it took me like 2.5 days. I cannot make this up. I sat and just tried to film for like 2 days. Luckily, like I said earlier, it was during COVID, so there was nothing else to do. But I was like, I've got to get everything right. I can't stumble over words. I can't, do anything wrong. It's got to be 100% perfect. And that was just to get through like a 6 or 7 minute video. And it took me days to film that video. Days.
Yeah, you're a perfectionist.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I think I remember you talking about that before, that you're very hard on yourself and you're a perfectionist. So,
right. And that's, part of and it's a, it's a good thing and a bad thing in my eyes, because there is still not a video that I've ever put out that I'm like, this is something that I am just totally happy with. Part of it is like, I've got to get this video out because it's been 2 weeks since I put a video out, and, the company might be waiting on this review or, whatever.
I can relate.
But, like I said, it's just a matter of like, I've got to get this out. So I have to just set aside the fact that I wish I could have gone back and done something different, or, maybe this lighting was just a little bit off. My audio sounds a little bit weird right here for just like a quick second while the AC is turning off or something weird. I have to set my perfectionism aside for a minute and say, it's okay to not be perfect.
Yeah.
And
for me, I always tell myself when I'm putting out a video, don't listen to what you think of it, Ron, because when you put it out, everybody else doesn't see it the way you see it.
Right. Exactly.
Because I always think it's bad and I could have done better, but that's never what I get from the people that see it. So
right.
I found that very interesting, but it took me a while to figure that out, so.
Right.
Well, yeah. And when you see somebody have, even like Dan C, he's messed up a few times on his videos and he keeps it in there, but it just shows the person you're only human,
Right.
I like those videos, you know. So.
Exactly, and that's part of I think if you have the video style that's very edited like mine, yes, it looks well put together and looks like there was time and effort put into the edit, but at the same time, it can also take away from you being relatable and just showing like, yeah, I'm a human. I stumble over my words and I say silly stuff and I don't make sense sometimes, and I say and drop stuff, and sometimes having those bloopers or those mess ups or whatever you want to call them in the video, again, it makes you more relatable. It makes you more, kind of creates that relationship between you and a viewer more so as friends versus as somebody who just filmed this video and is trying to come off as perfect. So I think sometimes it's hard for people to get a grasp of me and my full personality because I'm goofy. I joke around, I mess up, I say dumb stuff. But of course, in my videos, I cut all of that stuff out. So I kind of, that's part of the reason I think live streams are so much fun, because I think when you're on a live stream, you definitely get to see more of a person for who they are, because there's no editing this. Like if I said something dumb right now, I can't take that off the internet. It's live.
Exactly.
It's out there. It's done.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of what makes the live stream so fun for me, because my video style doesn't necessarily always show the mess ups or the bloopers or.
Well, yeah. Like Russ Young said earlier, I posted showed a comment earlier that creators should post some of their bloopers, and I know Mick from Beardy Vlogger, he did bloopers at the end of his reels, and I thought about that one time, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. But
I usually like to leave my mistakes in there, and like when after I do it, I'll say like, yeah, I'm leaving that in there, guys. I'm not taking that out. So
well, because my bloopers happen the very beginning, because like I said, I do one take. So, but if I mess up toward the beginning, it's kind of bad. I just redo the whole thing, or even if I'm halfway through, I just stop and redo the whole thing. So, but I still have a recording of that. So technically, I mean, I could do a blooper thing, but
right. Yeah,
we're our own worst critics when it comes to making videos and doing reviews and stuff.
Oh, of course.
I've seen that over and over again too with the guys that do this that I've spoken to.
And I think that's just naturally part of human nature, and being human is we're concerned with what are people going to think and or say about whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm putting out. And for the most part, especially in this community, people for the most part are really supportive. I know that if I put all of my time and effort and attention into editing this video, even if I'm not 100% pleased with it, or if I think, oh, well, I forgot to add this, or I messed up on that, nobody in the comment section is down there ripping you for it, saying like you're the worst YouTuber ever because your AC turned on at 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the video and you didn't edit that out. Yeah, people are still gonna say great video, I loved this, great thoughts, whatever. They're very supportive, and we're just our own worst critic. Chances are people probably didn't even notice the thing that you're overly concerned about that you thought ruined your video.
You're right.
Notice it or think twice about it. But like I said, we tend to be our own worst critics. And I think it's the same way, like, when it comes to trimming our beard, right? We get overly concerned and this side's a little bit longer. Most people aren't going to notice that.
I've only done it once, so far, and I need to again still. So, right. But I'm trying to get up the courage too.
I hear you.
What is this funny? Ray says he likes pizza. Which brought to remind me, so the two questions that we used to ask a while. I haven't heard these been asked in a while.
Yeah, I know.
So, since he brought this up, I'm going to ask it. I'm sure you know what they are. How do you like pineapple on pizza?
It's not my first go-to. Like if I, I'm ordering a pizza, it wouldn't necessarily be something that I ordered, but if I'm somewhere and there's pineapple on it, I'll eat it. I'm not gonna, slam and shame the pizza for having pineapple. If that's your thing, cool. If not, I respect that too. I'll eat it. I'm a college kid and the cafeteria is nasty most of the time. So pineapple on pizza is far from the worst thing that's out there when it comes to food selection, in my opinion. But.
That's right. And how do you like your steak cooked?
Everybody knows I'm a well done guy. That's it. That's me.
Yeah.
Same here. Well done.
That's it. It's the only way.
Yep.
Later, Nate.
Hey, take care,
Night,
Nate.
Nate.
Yeah, the E-Rock's gross on pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple on pizza. I think it's great.
Right. Like I said, to me, it's not a deal breaker by any means. It's not necessarily my favorite thing to go order, but like I said, I'm not gonna shame it. No need to, to blacklist all of the people who prefer pineapple on their pizza in my eyes.
No seasoning and sauce. You guys have some kind of seasoning. Oh no.
Yeah. Look, I'm an A1 guy, and that's another thing I get a lot of crap for. And I will say, it's not because the steak is overcooked and dry, so you need something to help moisten it. You can have a well-done steak that's not dry if you know how to cook it.
Exactly. If it's cooked right, it can be very juicy and well done.
And you cook it and let it sit until it looks like shoe leather, then it's going to be pretty dry. But E-Rock knows I'm an A1 guy. I love A1 sauce on everything, not just steaks. I put it on chicken. I'll put it on French fries. I just like A1 sauce.
I like it too. So no complaints from me over here, man. I like it.
I knew Ron was a smart guy.
Well, I like my steaks anywhere from medium well to well done. So I went through their code.
Yep. No pink for me. I can't do it. I've tried, and it's just not my thing.
I liked my steak when I was younger, medium with some pink in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Over the years, I went from medium rare to medium, then to medium well, and then where now I'm on well done.
Right.
And I don't know why that was. Like, it's something about the meat and the blood running in there, and just cook it more. I don't know what it was exactly, but something.
We are dialed in. We are one and the same right there, my friend.
Well, people's tastes and things do change over time. Something you don't like now, you could actually later on in life you could like it, or even something you like now, you may not start not liking it later in life. So
very true, very very true.
Yeah, I thought as a kid I'd always like it that way, but I just over the years it's just I just didn't like it that way anymore. It's really weird to me. Even it's weird.
Right. That's everybody. Palates and preferences change as time goes on. There are even scents that when I first got into the community, I'd buy an oil and it was, scented like whatever. And I'm like, I do not like this. And for whatever reason, this wasn't my forte. And then a year later, I try a similar scent and I was over the moon about it. So, as time goes on, I think, palates change and people have preferences that come and go, or they change or they alter a little bit. But
I was afraid to get a blueberry scent because, I got sick one year from a blueberry pie. So it kind of turned me off to everything blueberry. So I wouldn't order any blueberry scents. But actually, I just picked up one and it's fantastic.
Right.
I really enjoy it. So, you got to try sometimes,
Right. Sometimes you got to be open to the things that even if you say you don't like it, you might have changed since the last time. So
right.
I try and keep an open mind to anything as far as, if there's something that I don't like, at least at some point. Now, sushi's one that I won't go back and revisit. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Sushi is good.
Oh, I can't do sushi. I can't do it.
Sushi's I've done. I'll eat it if it's there. If people order it, if you're at party or something and it's there, I'll eat it. But I won't go out of my way to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right. See, I was raised on the Disney movies growing up. Obviously, those were real big, and Finding Nemo was one of my favorites. So the thought of a little fish uncooked sitting on top of a clump of rice, I can't. I just can't.
That's too cute, though, Dev.
Hey, Daniel. Sushi is not nasty.
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I'm going to take a little break right here and. I got Beard Caddy here.
Giveaway.
As he says, the same thing I'd always do. Three butters up to 3 inches, 3 oils up to 2 ounce oils. Now, as you can see, it's the natural color here inside and burnt on the outside. So
very cool.
Remember, the code word for this is going to be #caddy. So whenever you're ready, go do #caddy. Let's see. I really enjoy coffee. Oh yeah, I can't stand coffee. Nope, not
see, coffee is in my blood. I think my blood type is probably caffeine at this point. I am a barista here on campus. That's where I work on top of everything else that I do. But I absolutely love coffee. I would drink 18 cups a day if my body could handle it. I am a huge coffee fan. I love caffeine. And as you guys can probably guess, with all that I've got going on, I don't get the most sleep. I probably don't get as much as I probably need. But I just love the flavor of coffee. So the more coffee in the world, the better. That's how I see it.
I agree. I'm a coffee fan too. So
Yeah, smart man.
Great minds think alike, right, Dad?
That's right. I knew Ron was a smart guy.
Thank you. I knew you were too. Going to be a doctor, right?
Trying. That's the goal. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
That's awesome. I have no doubt you'll make it and be a doctor one day, brother. No doubt at all.
I appreciate it.
I was going to say the same thing. I'll wait a few more seconds here. If anybody hasn't entered a giveaway, go ahead.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.
Coffee is amazing as well. I just don't like coffee beard scents in my beer.
And that's fair. I can respect that. Like I actually love incense. I talked about that in the Damn Yankee video I did the other day. Pete did a incense and floral scent this year for a summer collection. I think it smells great. It's just not something that I necessarily want in my beard all the time. I don't want to walk around smelling kind of like that incensey hippie, type of vibe. That's not my thing as far as for my beard. But if I'm sitting in my room, I actually had 67 sitting on my desk until earlier today. And I would just pick it up and smell it because I love the smell of incense.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I just watched that video today.
Mm-hmm.
That you did.
Daniel, yeah, that's the plan is for me to specialize somewhere. I don't know exactly where yet. My two main ideas as of this point have been either IR, so interventional radiology, or I want to do orthopedic surgery. I think that would both be really, really cool. Lots of different stuff that you would see every day, which would keep the job exciting. I do not think I could ever work as like a general practitioner or a family doctor somewhere in like a small town where you kind of just do a little bit of everything. I think I'd lose my mind not having some sort of specialty. And like I said, I think, there's the cool part is like if you're from a bigger city like I grew up in, if I have to have knee surgery or a knee replacement or, I break my arm, I want to go see somebody who specializes in working on knees or works on arms versus going and seeing somebody who just kind of like, well, I've done one knee replacement. It was 15 years ago. Right. I would be more comfortable going to see the guy who works and fixes knees every single day because I want that to be the best possible outcome for me, and somebody who really specializes and is kind of like an expert in that particular area. Makes a lot of sense to me. Now, like I said, sometimes in small towns, like the town I'm in right now, that just wouldn't work. You would maybe, have one surgery that you do every 10 years because there's just not that need. So you have to kind of be more well-rounded. But I don't think I could ever do any sort of like general practitioner role or anything like that. I definitely want to specialize in something at some point.
It's awesome you recognize that now. So,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and draw a winner here. So here we go. Let's see who wins. I want to start slowing down. You think somebody's going to win, but then it goes to somebody else.
And it changes again.
And Donald won.
Hey, congrats.
Nice.
Donald.
Congratulations, Donald.
No, I was thinking just now, if I win, I was going to pass it to Donald, and then boom, his name came up. So that's so cool.
Congrats, Donald, man. I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, do what Joey said. Hit that like button if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed to Devon, guys, go give him a subscribe. Dig in. You have his information right in the.
Hey, Rob,
yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, what's going on, Rob? Hope you're doing well, man.
Hey, Rob. Love the new look, brother.
Yeah,
he shaved his head.
It suits him. It really does.
I know. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool though. He had a little side by side. That way, he's.
Yeah, not everybody can pull that off. So
Right.
Yeah. Does look good bald headed though. So yeah, so Donald, just reach out to me. Oh, hold on here. He said, "Pay it forward to Devon."
Oh man,
awesome.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. Truly,
that's amazing. That's
cool.
Great.
That's really, really awesome.
Congratulations, Devon. Way to go, Donald.
Congrats, Devon.
You're so amazing.
And thank you for doing that, Donald. That's really awesome of you to do.
That really was awesome.
Thank you.
So
Donald's an amazing guy.
reach out to me.
Will
I,
do.
I know I sent you something before that picture that my husband did, but
Yeah,
I didn't keep your address. So please send me your address again. And I'll get that out to you.
will do. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thanks.
Awesome, man.
So we're gonna start winding down here. So if you have any questions for Devon out here, please put in the chat.
Awesome, Daniel. I didn't know that it was Devon that inspired you. That's awesome. But I believe it.
Yeah,
Devon,
I remember. Funny enough, Daniel had actually reached out to me, and that was before he was on Instagram. I don't know if you guys remember. He didn't have an Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
He emailed me and just kind of asked. I had a few questions about wanting to get into making content, and I was absolutely told him. I said, anybody who wants to do it, I would get every single person out there, if you're listening and considering it, the same exact advice. I said, you got to just jump in. Like, the biggest thing, you got to just sit down, stop letting the excuses get in the way, and just get it done. You're going to get better. You're going to start somewhere. You're not going to feel comfortable. You're not going to feel like you're ready, but you're never going to feel like you're ready. But just sit down, get what you have to say out there and into the world, because the world needs more opinions, and they need your opinion to make a difference. So,
like Ken said, just turn on that camera.
Right, exactly. You got to hit record. You got to start somewhere. One of the biggest things I told him, I said, but you got to get on IG. Like, I tell everybody, especially as a content creator, I think Instagram is huge, just because, it really helps you kind of draw in from a different crowd to kind of funnel people towards your channel, as far as community and kind of getting more exposure and that sort of thing. So, I know E-Rock is super anti being a content creator and anti IG, but he's still a great guy in the community. So as long as he's not I'm short, but yeah.
And through IG, you get to talk to owners too that are
right. Yeah, it's a great way. I use Instagram a ton, like I said, as far as like communicating between other content creators, friends in the community, company owners. It's just a great way to kind of conversate and kind of engage with them, but also, like I said, it's a great way to kind of meet new people and kind of get a sense for all sorts of things in the community that you might not necessarily be exposed to right away from your channel. So,
JP here said it makes 1 year of growing his beard out from his baby face and 2 months of creating content.
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And what's your opinion about TikTok? What do y'all think about TikTok?
Ron, if you want to kick it off.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I'll go if you want to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm on TikTok. It's a BGG.Dagan on TikTok. I mean, I think it's kind of fun. I kind of do my own thing. It's not really all about beards for me on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a few videos, talking about my beard, my YouTube channel and stuff, but mostly it's just duetting other people, just having fun. So that's just more of a kind of just have a fun type thing for me.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think I'm too old for TikTok. I just can't seem to grasp that, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's my phone ain't working right. Or, I got an old phone. It's not that great. Every time I've tried to do a TikTok video, I got one on there and there's no sound for me in it. And any ones I've tried to do with sound in it, I can't seem to get it to record the sound. So I don't know. I kind of gave up.
Right. No, so funny enough, I was super against TikTok. I thought it was super dumb. I'll be completely honest. I was like, TikTok is not, it's going to be a thing for, a year and it's going to fall off and it's going to be dumb. My opinion and outlook has completely changed. I'm now addicted to TikTok, like Rob said. My girlfriend was all about it for the longest time. She tried to get me on there, and I'm like, this is so dumb. She would send me TikToks, and she'd want to sit down and watch TikToks, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like, no, we're not. I'm not doing it. I don't want a TikTok. Don't send them to me. They're dumb. But I had some friends. They finally convinced me. They're like, just try it. It's funny. There is absolutely just like YouTube, you can find TikToks about anything out there. And so you can find something just if you want to laugh, if you're looking to learn something, if you want something that's just going to help lift your day up, motivational speaking. If you have a passion, you can find TikToks about whatever your passion or your hobby is. So I think TikTok is really, really, really big right now, and I think it's going to keep getting bigger. One of the big things with TikTok is it's short form content. Mm-hmm. So videos for the most part are pretty short. and as far as duration goes. And that is perfect because if we're being honest, people, especially in today's age, we want instant gratification and satisfaction. So if you can give them a video and it only takes them 20 seconds to get through the video and get to the point, and that's satisfying to people, and then they can turn around and again get another TikTok and one more TikTok and one more TikTok. I cannot tell you how many times I've been sitting here telling myself, yeah, I'm going to, get on TikTok for 10 minutes and then start homework. And that 10 minutes turns into like 45 minutes. You're like, what? Did I just spend 45 minutes on TikTok?
Yeah.
Like I absolutely think it's fantastic. I'm not on TikTok. I have an account, but I haven't posted any videos or any TikToks or anything like that. Maybe at some point, I think it is a great idea, and I love what TikTok's doing. It's just I haven't kind of ventured into that realm yet personally as far as creating more content on there. But who knows? At some point, that could be where we all end up, or it could be something that I end up trying. So
yeah, TikTok definitely. You can be on TikTok for a long time, but anyway, they started out, they have 60-second videos, but they've recently done 3 minutes now. You can actually do 3 minutes now. Yeah. And I actually recently heard that they're thinking about doing a 10-minute one too.
Ooh, that might be interesting.
So who knows?
Yeah.
The rest of the question.
Watching the videos, it's just I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another shot one day. I just can't seem to get the grasp of it though. Of making them. I mean, so. Right. But
are you on any other platforms there, Devon?
Russ, yeah. So I'm on Snapchat. I'm also on Twitter. Those are pretty much both just kind of used as like personal accounts. They're not really anything. As far as like beard related or anything like that, but I am on both Snapchat and TikTok. And of course I'm on Instagram. I have 2 different Instagrams. I have my personal one that I use, and, all of my friends from school and family members and stuff like that. And then also the beard side of things. That way people can kind of follow, because I know that there are people out there who like me that could not care less about beards. They're like, I don't want to see anything that you're talking about. So that's part of the reason I think most of us kind of created a second Instagram. I think a lot of us have like a personal one, and then a lot of us in the community have just kind of beard ones where you can be a part of that community and kind of funnel that in one area, and then have another one for, everything else. And so I have 2 Instagrams, like I said, my personal one, and then of course my beard code one. And then of course YouTube. Like I said, I'm on TikTok, but haven't made any content on there. Could end up happening at some point, who knows? And then of course YouTube. So I'm pretty much everywhere. Not necessarily making content on every platform or every social media, but I'm pretty involved and at least have an account on just about most of them. So
yeah, I've seen you have an account on Facebook too, but I don't see you on there very often.
Yeah, don't use Facebook a ton. Mostly I do TikTok, or not TikTok. Facebook is mostly used for family. We have like a family reunion page and stuff like that where the family can kind of keep in touch. So I have it there. I'm a part of the Commands Corner Facebook page, and so I'll go on there and kind of see what's going on there. But I don't use Facebook a ton. It drives me crazy sometimes, just some of the stuff that you see on Facebook. I'm like, what in the world? Like, you felt that on the internet? I'm closing the app. But I'm on there. Don't use it a ton, but I'm definitely on there.
Yeah. I stayed off of there probably for about a year, and then I just started going back on to share stuff and, like share videos, thumbnails and stuff on there. So
yeah, that's all pretty much.
But I have family on there as well.
I just go in there and post my videos sometimes. That's about it.
Right. Yeah, no, they can't. Like I said, I think the more places you're plugged in and connected on just means that there's more potential for more exposure. So the more places you can get involved in social media, even if it's, like you said, all I do is post my thumbnails or share my videos. It's a great way to get more exposure. But E-Rock made a great point. All of social media, not to kind of go down that rabbit hole, is filled with drama. There's drama on every form of social media in some form or another. And some people like E-Rock, he's always said that's why he doesn't do anything or want anything to do with social media.
Don't blame him.
He added unnecessary drama in his life. So I completely respect the people who don't do social media because it's inevitable. It's unavoidable. It's just a reality of social media and kind of what comes with it.
Well, for the most part, with the drama, I can ignore the drama. It's the other stuff that goes beyond the drama that I have an issue with, So.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So we're getting to the hour mark, so we're going to wrap it up here. So if anybody has any last minute questions for Devon, put them in the chat. But I do want to thank Devon for coming on. Had a really awesome time getting to know you a little better, and
absolutely
hope everybody in the chat did as well. And also thank you for everybody coming in the chat. And Congratulations to Devon for winning the Beard Caddy from pass along from Donald. So thank you for that, Donald.
Yeah,
that was really awesome too.
Super kind.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, you guys asked me to be on, and I was absolutely stoked and really excited when you guys, asked me to be a part of the show. It was a great time. I knew it was going to be tons and tons of fun. It's always awesome getting to talk to you guys, two guys that I look up to and, really enjoy having conversations with. So it's awesome being on with you guys. I appreciate you guys for even asking in the first place. Yeah, great time. I hope everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And like I said, if you guys ever need a guest in the future, let me know. I'd love to help out any way I can. So,
well, yeah, that's definitely awesome. So I do want to mention that our next time we have Creation Station is going to be September 12th, and we're going to have on Johnny Grooms. So that'll be our next guest.
Nice.
Oh, I got a question here. Hold on.
You got a question.
We got a question. Devon, who do you play ball for?
Yeah, I play for a small private school out here in Kansas called Tabor College. Yep, that's where I play. Middle of nowhere, but I love it.
And Devon, you're somewhat of a star out there, aren't you?
A little bit.
Yes. Awesome.
And as far as the mustache, Dagan, I think your mustache is awesome. I could never do a mustache that long. I absolutely hate when my mustache even gets long enough to where it touches my lip. I hate it. So I keep my mustache pretty short and pretty trimmed. Luckily, maybe it's because I haven't quite finished puberty going through all the way. See, look at that thing, man. That thing is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. I just can't do it. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, him and Eric both have these amazing mustaches, man.
Well, if you go back to my mustache trim video, I actually measured it before I trimmed it. It was 11.5 inches. Now it's down to 8. Tip to tip.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like I said, I haven't even finished going through puberty, it seems like, because my mustache luckily doesn't come in too terribly long and thick, but I don't have much of a problem with that. I like it pretty short. I think it fits me a little bit better, and I don't have to worry about it touching my lip and biting and getting into my food and all that kinds of stuff that comes with a real long mustache. So
that's the awkward stage when it first starts growing your lip. Yeah, you get that, but once it gets a little further, you get that mustache wax, and I don't have any issue now. So
right, yeah, get it real trained, and then you're out of that awkward stage. But
that's what I do. I brush mine to the side. So.
All right, real quick. Anybody tried Beard Baron? And I have not, so I can't give you my thoughts about it.
I have not.
I have, yeah. I haven't tried a ton of stuff, but I have tried a few things. I actually won a gift card from an auction. It was like a $50 gift card that I won in an auction from Beard Baron. The oil, I really enjoyed their oil. The thing that I've noticed is their scents kind of come and go. He has things that are there, only certain times of the year, and you can only get them for a little bit. So I think he does have a few regular lineup scents. I haven't tried any of them, so I can't speak as far as like scent recommendations or anything like that. But the oil did have a pretty nice feeling beard. One thing I noticed that it's a really, really, really firm butter. Like one of probably the firmest butter I think I've ever tried. Some people really like that firm butter. For me, there was a little bit of drag kind of putting it in, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. But I also like firmer butters at the same time because I've got a thick, pretty coarse and curly beard. So kind of a
and that's what E-Rock said.
Yeah, I think me and E-Rock have pretty similar beards from what I know as far as kind of like the fullness and the coarseness of it. So if that's something that you like, I know some people have my type of beard really like that thicker, more full body butter. But again, I know some people aren't a fan of that at all. So I would say, look into them. I liked what I've tried. I definitely would not recommend Beard Baron. So if it's a company that you've been interested in, I'd say check it out.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about them. So.
All right. So thanks, guys, for coming in, and thanks again, Devon, for coming on, and appreciate everybody that's joined in and put comments in the chat. So really, really appreciate that, guys.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
So good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.